What's going on, Pursuit fam? Coach Stefan here. I'm with one of our clients, Aaron. He's been in our program around like a little over 5 months. We're recording this in August of 24, and he joined at like the very end of February. Do you want to give people a little background on like what you do for work, your home life, just so they knew who we're chatting with?
Yeah, so I'm a police officer here in Georgia. I actually work the night shift. We work 10 to 12 hours a night. Um, I'm a dad. I have two little girls, my girlfriend. We all live together in our house, um, and a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got your hands full. And I know when you first joined, that was a little bit of a concern for you, right? Like just having a busy life, right? Like, how am I going to make this work? So I know we were chatting too before we started recording this, and you were saying that when you joined in January of 24, you were right before you met us, you were kind of at your heaviest around like 300. You did
hmm
some stuff on your own, dropped a little bit of like water weight, kind of fluctuating there, and you joined around like when you were 290. And now, how much do you weigh now?
Around 265.
Right. So you dropped 25 pounds, and you're a big dude. Like you
Yeah,
got a lot of muscle. So that's really, really good. I mean, do you feel like you look different? I've seen your pictures that you post in the community. I feel like you look way different.
and I look at some of my pictures and I feel like I don't even notice myself. Because I look at my pictures, my face is like super
Yeah.
round, my belly's all the way out here. I mean, I just felt unrecognizable. But
Yeah.
I feel more of myself now than I have, well, in the beginning of the year for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's always good to kind of like fall into who you envision yourself as, right? Like we all kind of have this character of like our best self usually, right? Like this how I'm supposed to look, this is me. And when you're
Yeah.
not that person, you feel a little bit trapped, which is kind of where you were in January. What you shared it with me, but share with everybody else. What prompted you to reach out for help? It's kind of a two-part question. Why did you join, right? And then what were your goals when you first joined?
So when I first joined, obviously I was ready to just drop all the weight. I was ready to get back in shape. I had actually, I've been a police officer for about a year. So I joined last March. So 2023 of March is when I became a police officer. And I'm not gonna lie, going through the academy with all that weight on me was
Yeah.
it was really terrible. And so I was ready to just get back in shape and stuff. Also, I'm turning 30 this year, and my 20s were not, like I said, not. I wasn't in the best shape. I mean, after I graduated college, it just went downhill. So I made a oath to myself, basically, to say that I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life when I turn 30.
I love that. Yeah, I do remember our conversation, and that's a huge driving factor. Like I'm 33, so I know when I was 30, I was like, I'm gonna do this long bike ride, and like it's one of those monumental age things where you want to be like, hey, I'm not gonna be those people that start going downhill, especially
Right.
because you spend a lot of your 20s like not in the best shape. So, you're proving to yourself that age is just a number. Now, you did mention to me that you were trying some things on your own before the program and they just weren't working. Like, what were some of those things?
Yeah, I was trying to like go get back into the gym. I was trying to figure out my workouts, my eating habits, um, and I just wasn't consistent.
Mm.
I didn't have anybody in my corner to say, "Hey, you're doing this wrong. Hey, your macros need to be this. You need to be weighing your stuff. You need to be in the gym many times a week, this
Yeah.
long." Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't have no structure. I guess it was just
Yeah.
all just me trying to figure it out.
Right. And do you think some of the like you kind of winging it led to the inconsistency?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would do it for about 3 days, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. So obviously, 5 months in, 25 pounds down, pounds down, you've built muscle. I mean, I could tell by looking at you, right? Your strength has gone up. Any other like performance? Like you feel like your cardio's gotten better? Like walk me through that.
Oh yeah, so I used to I used to be scared of the when I first started working out, I was walking, I was doing the stairmaster, all that stuff. When I was starting off, I was really doing the stairmaster at first, and I could barely do 5 minutes on the stairmaster.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I was exhausted going up them stairs. After 5 minutes, I would just get off. Now I can do probably up to like 30 to 40 minutes on the Stairmaster
That's good.
easily.
Yeah. Stairmasters, it's a little brutal, especially in the beginning. Yeah,
You
dude. But that's
and I,
huge, right? If you were at like let's say 3 minutes, okay? Three, like probably that's 3 minutes of without dying. You're at 30
right,
minutes. That's a 10x increase, dude.
yeah.
Huge, right? In
I'm
5 months.
and I
So
feel better.
yeah, which probably makes you, I would assume, makes you feel a little bit better on duty. Like I can go.
Oh yeah,
I have a better gas tank. I weigh
yeah.
less. I'm a little faster and bigger and stronger in case you get into some stuff. I mean, you're a big dude. You probably throw people around anyways, but you know, do you feel like when you show up, can handle yourself a little bit more?
Or you mean at work or
Yeah.
working out?
Well, both.
Oh yeah, when I'm at work, everybody and it's crazy because those besides my girlfriend, those were the people who really noticed
Hmm.
uh, me like getting better and losing the weight. They were probably the first people to notice. And uh, when I'm not like as fatigued as I was when I was going to work. Like I was always tired and drained
Yeah.
from the smallest movements and stuff. I'm like, man, I can go all night now.
Yeah. What about when you come home from work? Because I know when I was in the military, I had a decently physical job. Like I was out on the flight line and in the heat and up and down ladders. Like it was a workout. And I noticed the guys that like didn't train when they went home, they're like, dude, give me the couch. Like I don't want to do nothing. And so their family kind of suffered, but the guys
Yeah.
that trained, they actually had more energy. Like, have you noticed that when you get home?
When I get off, I usually get my well for the first part from like when I started with you guys and beginning of March and to actually last month, actually about 2 weeks ago, is when I had my daughter. My daughter's one. So when I got off of work, I would my girlfriend was at work and I would have to watch her.
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I was like, hey, I need to get my stuff together.
Yeah. And you
So
have the energy to keep up.
yeah, yeah, for sure, because she's she's a runner, man. But
Yeah.
the first part, like I said, it was hard. I would come home and I would lay on the couch and just try to watch her play. But like these last few months, I've gotten myself together. I'll take her outside.
That's
Uh,
awesome, dude.
we'll do stuff. I'll take her out to the park and stuff. Yeah,
Good.
I definitely had a lot more energy.
Yeah, that's good. And it makes me happy to hear that this program is being influential in all certain areas of your life. Obviously, you're a great dad, but you do have a limiting factor if you're like, I'm physically exhausted, dude. Like I
Yeah,
don't have energy.
it's a
And that's turned around for you, which is awesome, and it's making you feel better at work. Now, I did want to go back. You said, hey, before like I tried some things, I didn't have structure, I didn't have guidance, so I was inconsistent. How is kind of where you were before and where you are now? How has that changed as far as like the consistency and the knowledge and the structure?
oh, well now I know like I know my protein goals. I know how many calories I need to get in. I know to not be afraid of fats. I know
Yeah.
like carbs are gonna give me energy because I mean it's a lot of information that I learned from you guys, especially Coach Brian, and like I mean it had helped me get my like food under control and all that. Like I weigh my food now. I know what I'm intaking. I'm not just guessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot like me trying to figure it out and me now are two different.
Yeah, yeah. I always tell people I'm like the internet is is great, but there's so much stuff out there and everybody's like, ah, do this. No, don't do this. And like just the mental bandwidth to think about it and put it together, like that's not your job. Your job, you're a dad and a spouse and a cop. That's your job. Just let us do our job, right? I'm not trying to if somebody breaks into my house, I might try to handle it, but I'm also going to call the cops, right? So it's one of those things where I think what happens too, and I'm not saying this is all men, but a lot of guys are like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We kind of get a little prideful sometimes and we don't want to ask for help, but at some point you're like, dude, what I'm doing is not working. Like if we're just a fly on the wall, we look at the facts, which that's where you were in January. Like I need some help as much as it sucks to ask for it. Like I need some help. And you said that this has been one of the best decisions you've made this year, right?
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Is and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. This is like the first online coach or trainer that you've hired, right?
Yeah, I did, and I did about 2 years ago, well, 3 years ago when COVID, right when COVID started, I had a trainer, in-person trainer. I
Mhm.
had him for about 2 or 3 weeks, but COVID hit and all the gyms closed.
Yeah, hard
So
time.
I
Yeah.
was trying in, but I mean, once the gyms closed, it was over with.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably the first time that I've actually had a chance to be with a coach.
Yeah. Which is great because I'd say, I mean, I would probably say 80% of our clients have never with an online coach. We have some that did some in-person or, some online coaching. And so it's cool to get feedback from people that are like, yeah, dude, this was my first experience too. I jumped both feet in and like, look, right. Um, a lot of skepticism that I hear from people, which totally makes sense, is really three things when they're thinking about working with an online coach is like, are these people legit? Which hopefully these interviews help. Number two is like, I think people are just actually afraid of like the customer service and delivery, like communication of the coach. Um, will they be on attentive? Will they be motivating? Will they be on top of things? And then also just like, do they know what they're doing? Like, not only are they legit and not scammers, but like, is it a good team? I want your honest opinion and feedback, right? You go out to eat, you shop places, you kind of know what customer service looks like and attentiveness. How has it been working with us over the last 5 months and Coach Ryan?
Oh, it's been great. Like every time I have a question within that day, he usually gets back at me. I mean, if anybody's wondering if you guys are legit, you guys are definitely legit.
Appreciate it.
uh, but yeah, I've had no complaints at all. I mean, even that week I went ghosted on my coach, he actually reached out to me and was like, "Hey, buddy, you need anything? Let me know."
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, it's been great.
Yeah. Thank you for that, man. Thanks for the honest feedback. And yeah, I mean, dude, we don't expect you guys to be perfect at all. Like, especially with your job and everything. And like, even one of our clients, Josh, his firefighter, he's like, I just had a bad week. And same thing, like I kind of went off the rails and my coach wasn't like condemning me. He's like, hey, dude, like, let's go. Come on, I'm here. I'm here. And then like kind of got back on it. And, so just having somebody accountable. Cause I'm like, but what if your coach, I asked him, what if your coach wasn't there? He's like, oh, I would have fell off the wagon and stayed off for probably like months. And I'm like, that's why the accountability is a huge thing, right? Because we're not here to, we're here to help you, dude. That's it. Like whatever that takes. And we'll call you.
Oh,
We'll be there. We want to make sure that you're on point, you're using the program and you're making progress. And the
right.
last the last thing I want to chat with you about is just the flexibility, right?
Mm,
The biggest thing is we work obviously with this everyday hero community. Part of the reasons I am a huge advocate to online coaching for the first responder, military, medical community is I'm a firm believer in you need a flexible program because of your crazy schedule. And there is such thing as consistent regiment, but also flexibility, right?
mhm.
Like, hey, you need to do this, but like there's some wiggle room, dude. We can't tighten it up like this. How's
Yeah.
that experience been with you with freaking being a dad and, to a baby,
Mm.
being a cop? Like, how's that flexibility worked with you and your schedule?
So with my kid, I honestly had to just sit down and talk with my girlfriend, talk to my family. I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I need to find time for it. So my schedule was basically me going to work. I come home, take care of my daughter. Uh, my girlfriend would get home. Well, I take a nap pretty much between like 12 and 3. My girlfriend would get home around 4, and then I go work out.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought that working out would take up so much of my day. For some reason, I don't know, in my head mentally, I
Yeah.
just thought working out was just something I couldn't fit in. But honestly, just finding that time to work on yourself for about 45 minutes out the day, I mean, it changes your life.
Yeah. And how many days a week do you go to the gym usually?
Right now I go 6.
Okay. Right. So what the cool thing is, and I know you didn't start at 6, but the
Right.
cool thing is you've built, right? What'd you start at? 3, 4?
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
They
exactly. Right. So if you guys hear that, he's like, hey, 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes. Generally, just to be transparent with anybody listening, that's kind of the bare minimum. I'm not going to blow smoke and be like,
yeah.
yeah, 20 minutes, 2 days a week. No. Okay. You gotta find time. But I think a lot of times it's exactly what you said. It's like just the thought of it, it's paralysis by analysis. Like, I can't do this. And is it too busy? And I'm like, I promise you can, because we have, like I told you with RJ and all these people that he has 3 kids under 2. Like,
Mhm.
his wife works like crazy busy, dude, cop in reserves. And like, he makes time. And I'm so glad that you are being a good communicator with your spouse, dude. That's huge. Hey, you sit down. Hey, guys, I need this for me because of XYZ. Cool. Can I have this support? I need this thing. I'll make it work. This is an important goal. I'll be flexible. That way you have the support, because, we want that. It's super important. If you have a spouse that's like, I hate every time you go to the gym, like, it's gonna
Yeah,
be rough, right? But and then they see the changes in you, right? You're probably a little
mhm,
bit happier, probably in a little better mood, less stressed, right?
definitely.
Yeah, more confident. And then, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Give him his time. This is going good. This is going well, which I know you've probably seen some of that change at your home, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, man, if you could do it, I know other people can do it, and we have a lot of officers in our program, and other career fields too, and it just shows your dedication, dude. So hats off to you. Like, you're really making it work, because you don't like get off and then go to the gym. You like get off, watch, take a nap, go to the gym. Like, you are fitting it in, and that
Oh
just
yeah.
shows your dedication, because some people would just say, and like you were doing before, I don't got time for this. I can't make it work. And sometimes just making a calendar, getting organized, figuring out where that time block goes. Uh, and I really appreciate you jumping on with me. The very last thing is, what would you say if somebody was kind of in your shoes? If they were on the fence about like working with Pursuit, maybe joining a program, getting a coach, like, what would you say to that person that's kind of like,
I would say that it is not easy doing this by yourself. You always need somebody in your corner, and it's better to let them think for you
yeah,
than do it yourself, because it makes it 12, 20,000 times better when somebody's actually in your corner. They have basically all the answers for you, and you just go out and do it.
yeah.
It takes time out your day, and when you think you can't do it, trust me, you can.
That's awesome, man. Final words. That's a wrap. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I'm glad you see that. I tell people all the time, I have coaches in all sorts of areas of my life, because I do the same. I don't just preach to you guys, invest and get knowledge. No, no, I have it with the business and with other things too, where I find somebody that's further along, that's done what I want to do, that has the knowledge. And I'm like, I will invest because I want to get there quicker. And then when I do get there, I want better results. Like, who does not want that? And it's that leap, and it does take you to drop your pride a little bit, be a sponge, be like, hey, cool, I'm here to learn. Tell me, I'll go execute. And this is the thing I love about this community. Most of us are executors. We will go and we will do, but we do need a plan. We need structure. We need it laid out. If it's there, we'll crush it, but we have to have it. And so when it's not there, and you experienced this before, you're trying, the effort's there, but it gets a little bit crazy. So I appreciate you jumping on with us, dude. This is super helpful. Keep crushing it. I'm very, very excited to see you continue to share in the community and hit your goals. And yeah, I just appreciate you jumping on, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, man.